So Maono reached us out and sent one of their latest USB condenser microphone for review, and this is called the Dm30 RGB condenser microphone. As per usual guys, we'll check its physical overview, features, and do several mic tests. We'll tell you everything you need to know coming up. First, let's check what's in the box. Obviously, we have the microphone itself with its pre-installed stand, the USB A/C to right angle USB-C cable around 5 feet, and also the manual. Now let's check out some physical overview. So the build is all metal body with smooth black painted texture all over the microphone. If you don't want that black color, we also have several colors to choose from. It has a nice metal grid design with customizable RGB colors that glows inside. The top part, also this part, and also the volume knob is made out of plastic, and it seems that the knob is a bit wobbly. The volume knob rotates endlessly with distinguishable clicking feels. This controls the mic gain level and also the level of the headphone output zero latency monitoring. You can also press it to mute and also long press it to change the mode control. Underneath is where we can see more RGB design, and in the middle of it you can see the USB-C input, a 3.5mm jack input for monitoring, and also a physical button to cycle the available RGB presets. You can also adjust the position of the microphone accordingly and also remove the base so you can mount it on a boom arm like this. This base holder is a bit heavy with 3 rubber grips to keep it in place. I guess that's all that there is for its physical overview. Now let's check out some features. So this microphone has a cardioid polar pattern with a high sensitivity condenser microphone core. This also has a zero latency monitoring using the 3.5mm jack input underneath. It also has a mic gain and a headphone volume control with customizable RGB design. And one of the best features of this microphone is that it has a software where we can customize a lot of things, and it works with Windows and Mac OS. Before we move on to the software, you can pause this video and check this detailed specification for more info. The software is straightforward and very simple. We have 2 tabs, aka the standard tab and also the advanced tab. In the standard tab is where we can see the mute, the actual gain level, and also the zero latency volume level. Over here we have 4 preset tones, and choosing from this depends on the user's voice characteristics. Tone controls are often used to add warmth or brightness to the sound to compensate for the acoustics of a particular listening environment. We will do some mic tests on these tones later so we can hear the difference. On the advanced tab is almost similar, but instead of having a tone control, we have some preset equalizer, limiter, and also a compressor. Let me explain what's the use of this. So let me start with the EQ. This is a more precise tool for shaping the frequency response of an audio signal. The EQ is to adjust the specific frequency bands or ranges in more detail than the tone controls, and it's often used for corrective or creative purposes. But since these are presets, we can't adjust the high, mids, and low frequencies accordingly, which is a downer. Now the compressor reduces the dynamic range of an audio signal by decreasing the volume of loud sounds and increasing the volume of soft sound. This is actually good for streamers who are suddenly shouting out of excitement or disappointment in their streaming session. The limiter prevents the audio signal from exceeding a certain level by applying heavy gain reduction. This is good for recording since it is difficult to edit audio that is too loud, and having this option helps a lot. Lastly, we have some RGB presets where we can turn it on and off or choose from these single colors or from the breathing RGB strobe. I guess that's all. Now let's do some mic tests. Okay guys, so before we begin, let me just tell you that our gain or our mic gain is set to 20% only since this microphone comes in very hot. So that's why. And also our tone is set to natural so you can hear the default sound of this microphone. And we have no filters of any kind, so this is the sound of the raw mic with the tone set to natural. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4. Okay, so now the tone is set to deep. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4. Again, the tone is set to deep. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4. Okay, now the tone is set to bright. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4. Again, the tone is set to bright. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4.
And now the tone is set to legacy. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4. Again, the tone is set to legacy. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4. Okay, now so we're going to test the microphone at this point with noise suppression from OBS Studio so we could hear less of the sound in the background. I'm talking about my air condition. And so this is the sound of the microphone with 20% gain, and also the tone is set to legacy. Now I'm going to change it to bright. So this is the sound of the microphone. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4. And now we're going to switch to natural. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4. And lastly, we're going to set it to deep tone. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4. Okay, now we are in the advanced mode wherein our gain is still in 20% with noise filter from OBS Studio, and of course our equalizer is set to flat. And I'm going to go right through it and let me know in the comment section below if you hear any difference. So check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test. This is set to flat. Equalizer, check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test. Now I'm going to switch to high pass filter. So this is the sound of the microphone with high pass filter. 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4. Now we're going to set to presence boost. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4. And lastly, we're going to set it to HPF and presence boost. Check 1 2 3 4 sound check mic test 1 2 3 4.
Now let's move into the conclusion and let's talk about the things that I like and don't like about the microphone. Let's start with the things that I don't like, and the first thing is that the microphone picks up a lot of sound vibration coming from my PC or anything that bumps on my desk. Since this is intended for this kind of setup, Maono should have included a shock mount design so that this won't be a problem. The only solution I can think of is to use the foam included in the box. It will help a little bit but not entirely. Another problem is the volume knob. It is a bit wobbly, and the sturdiness is a bit questionable. Well, it's just me being picky as usual. Lastly, the software side, the EQ presets doesn't make much difference. If this is something where we could freely adjust the high, mids, and low frequency, this microphone will be the best budget choice in the market today. Maono, if you are listening, I highly suggest that you update the software and change this equalizer from being a preset selection into something where the user can freely adjust the high, mids, and low frequency. I know I'm asking too much, but if you guys were able to pull this off, then this microphone will be the best budget USB condenser microphone. For this reason, I'm torn whether if I like the mic sound output or not, but to be honest, I am very well satisfied with the tone set to natural or legacy, at least for my own voice characteristics. And one of the best features of this mic is that it has a zero latency monitoring that also serves as a separate audio interface, which you can actually play music from the PC and listen through the jack input using your headphones. And of course, if you don't want that, you can change it to your Windows audio settings, but you will still be able to hear the zero latency monitoring from the microphone through the headphone jack input. I love the easy mic gain control with a knob that actually rotates endlessly. The simple press to mute and also the lighting indication to know which you are using the knob with is also appreciated. I love the removable mic mount so we can use a third-party boom arm, also the RGB design that has this customizable single color, and also the cable that has a USB-A adapter which comes in very handy. Lastly, though it has some rough edges, I think having a software for a budget USB condenser microphone is a game changer. The tone setting itself is awesome. I'm not a fan of the preset EQ, though I love the limiter and the compressor. because they work as it should like in our testings. Overall, it is still a good buy and an easy recommendation. And yes, you heard me right, I'll still recommend this to anyone who's in a budget and needed a USB condenser microphone. If you want to grab one for yourself, I placed some links in the description for you to check it out. And if you think this is not for you, you should watch the other condenser microphone reviews we have on your screen. So that's it guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.